And so now we're just writing the equation that's on the front. We're going to rewrite it. If you want to use different colors or get some colored pencils, we're just writing that equation, and we're just breaking down each thing that's going on. So I have negative or positive. Besides the word cool. Parentheses E to the X. So you're writing that out like your entire paper. So like your full paper should look like that whole equation. Just okay? Yeah, so now write that equation like out the entire sheet. So we're just breaking each part down. I feel like we did this before. We did. We did it with quadratics. So now we're just doing it with exponential. And so we're going to start with the negative. Remember, when it becomes negative, remember negative Nancy and positive Patricia, remember them? So that's basically coming back. So if it's negative, we're just writing this underneath the negative part of it. We can just go like this. If it's negative, we know it reflects over the x-axis. Also, aka, it turns to a negative Nancy. So we're just breaking each part down. So if it's negative, that just means it's a negative Nancy. If it's positive, it's a positive Patricia. The A basically tells us if it's getting skinnier or wider. Remember that whole thing? So our A just tells us what the vertical shift is. Not vertical shift, sorry, vertical stretch. So it's telling us if it's stretching or not. The B we know is our growth and decay factor, but remember that minus H. And so H we know is like horizontal, and I remember that because it starts with H. And so horizontal side to side. And so remember that opposite day, like minus H means it shifts right. Plus H, it shifts left. So it just says minus H shifts right, plus H shifts left. The last one's that big number, like what we saw in our view now. So remember, it shifted it up. So that's our vertical shift. And so I remember plus K is moving up, and minus K is moving down. Is this coming back to you a little bit like quadratics? It's basically the same letters. Now we're just looking at it in exponential form. Mm-hmm. So this is for this. So just bring this. Then you plus it. So real quick, even if you didn't finish writing the notes, I'm going to write them. I'm going to put it back up. But I just want you to see something real quick. So here is my parent function. I'm starting with 2 to the x, right? Here it is. He's beautiful. He's red. And then I want to figure out what's happening. So I'm going to do x, and instead of in the exponent, I'm going to do minus 3, if I can figure that out. There we go. And so look what happened. It took this point right here, 0, 1, and it moved it over 3 to the right. Do you guys see that? So basically, what we're doing is we're just taking a function and we're doing transformation. We're just moving it. So like right here, we could see if I did -3, look what happened to it. It didn't go up 3 this time. What happened to it? It goes down 3. And so when we have negative, it just flips it. So it flips right here over the x-axis. Does that make sense, like what we're doing? So right here, we're just going to this part of the worksheet. You're just writing the transformation. So like we can just do a cheat sheet. So now go to the front again. I just wanted to make sure you could see it. So here's the equation. So flip to the front of that worksheet. And so let's go over that one more time. So we know the negative, if it's negative, what happens to it? It reflects over, good, over x-axis. Or it becomes a negative name. See, I'm colored. The A is your vertical shift, or sorry, vertical stretch. So it gets skinnier or wider. So the A just tells me if it's getting wider or narrower. The H. The H tells me if we're shifting right or left, so horizontal. So -H is to the right, +H is to the left. And then that K plus K is up, minus K is down. Just switch to the All right, so now we're just going to practice with what we just did. I'm just moving it up. So if you came in late, you should just sit down and make sure you get these notes down. Which one? Yes, I wrote equals arrow. Let's sit down. Cool. So we're going to start with this one. We're on this. Okay, so we're on the front. So we're doing transformations. So we're starting with this guy right here, 2 to the x. That's our parent function, so we didn't actually do anything yet. Right? So this is no transformation. Now right here it says +1 instead of +h. So instead of +1, we have one transformation. So we can see that it's in the h, and so if it's plus a number, what does that mean right here? Left, right? So what's the transformation? I shift left, 1 to the left. So all we're doing is they give you the equation and you're just saying the transformation. So this is similar to how the transformations work during quadratics. What about -1? What would that be?
To the right.
To the right. So we would have 1 and it shifts right 1. All right, let's do the next one. So when there's a big +1, just like our do now, it's shifting what? Up, right? So that big plus K is going to be shifting up. So when I have it like as a big constant, all that does is it shifts my equation up 1. I can't speak. What about when it's -1?
Down.
Down 1. Perfect. there's just a negative in front of it, what does that do?
Nothing.
What does it turn? What does it do?
Reflects over x-axis.
Reflects over x-axis, or it becomes a negative Nancy, right? What color did that turn? So this negative means it's reflecting over the x-axis. Or it becomes a negative Nancy. And so we're just looking at it and just writing down the transformations that are happening. So we can see there's a bunch of stuff happening here, right? First we see there's a negative. So what does that mean is happening? Good, so let's do that first. Reflects over x-axis. Then if there's a number for A, what does that mean? What is, if there's a number for perfect, vertical stretch of 2. And what does this guy mean right here, plus 9? Up 9, or vertical shift. Yeah, so up 9. So total, there's 3 shifts. We'll do the last one. There's only 1. And so we could see that it's our A, so it has to deal with our vertical stretch, right? So when something's there for A, I can see that there's going to be a vertical, and with a fraction, it's also called compression. How about a headache of 1/2? Does anyone have any questions about any of this?
I get 3.
There's 3 things that happen. 1, 2, 3, because this is saying how many transformations. And so now you're going to go to that second sheet. Do you guys see it? It looks like this. And so you're just doing the exact same thing. So you're doing the number of transformations. Hold on.